Welcome, Lockdown Workshop. I'm your host, Mark. I've still got coffee all over the side from the last one. The channel appears to have turned into my mate Vince overnight without realising. So we just fixed a sort of mid-range DeLonghi bean to cup coffee machine. Cheers. So we can get that back to its owners. They also left this with us as well, and you can't see down there, a fairly new leisure battery. I've got an idea how to fix that and use the same method I use on the motorbikes. We're going to have a look at this first. So it's a dehumidifier. When they said they were sending over a dehumidifier for me to have a look at, I had visions of like that great big air conditioning unit thing that we've got. But that's an air conditioner dehumidifier. This is just a dehumidifier, so I'm guessing it just condenses the air, and then you get water, which they use for their iron, which I'm guessing ends up in there, which is a damn sight better than the way that ours does it. And you can plumb it in by the looks, so if you take that cork out, you can put a tube over that and then let it feed into a waste. Obviously that needs to be sealed, because otherwise you're sucking the moisture out of the waste pipe as well at that point. What does it do? It's got ionizer on it, auto swing, timer, mode, on, off, 8 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour timer, powerful, or laundry, quiet and normal are the different settings you can have, I'm guessing, on the mode. It's got a warning for full tank, model number, make, manufacturing, it's a Brolin, never heard of them. Desiccant dehumidifier, circuit diagram. Oh, there's a circuit diagram. Flipping heck, I did never see that. Alternating current in. Temperature gauge 1, PCB, PCB 2. Household and indoor use only. Do not cover the air filter. Do not unplug the power cord during operation. The fan runs for a while after turning off. Do not operate without the air filter. Clean the filter every 2 weeks. Air filter. That looks very similar to the one that we've got. Filter looks clean anyway. I don't know what's wrong with this other than it doesn't work, so let's turn it on and see what happens. Well, that's not a good start, is it? Ooh. Yep, we're on. We know this works because we just had even though the light doesn't work, we know this works. Right, so let's do some basics. So I bought this a while back because I've got a multimeter that I use up in the garage, but I wanted one that could do capacitors and things like that, and I'm sick of the battery going flat on the other one. This is a chargeable one. It's even got a light on it. Which is quite useful when you're dibbling around. What's good about it? Auto sets. Cheap and cheerful, off of Amazon. So all I want is just a continuity check, really. So we just need to cycle through the select, diode, that's the continuity check. Let me just pull the pins off. So it gives you your ohms and a continuity check. Don't do this with your multimeter. That's what screwdrivers are for. Right, check one done. So I've checked the fuse. Can't get it back in now. There we go, back in. Right, next thing to do is to start tearing into it. So we've got to get into where the cable gets in, because what I want to do is then do a continuity check from here to there, just to check that nothing's got damaged on the cable. And the best thing to do so is to make sure the mains is getting in. It's better than plugging it in and then me putting a mains tester on it and hoping for the best. It's a better way of doing it. Let me just take the water cleaner out in case there's any screws back there that I need to get to. One thing this has said, in here there are 2 fuses. So there's no life on the power board at all, there's no life on the front at all. So it's got to be fairly early on. So I'm kind of hoping that it's one of these fuses. We'll see. So it looks like there are some screws underneath. And that's not playing ball. Let me go and find the other one. So I cast my mind back to August, and I was literally on weekly upload, videoing them, rushing to get the videos done on a Friday, on a Thursday evening, because Thursdays is really the only time I can, that was the only time at that point where I could do stuff, because I was training, I was at the lake all day Saturday, Sundays I was out training. There's not many screws on this. Anything hiding behind? Right, hold on a second. Yes. I hope that this will, if not, we're snookered a bit, because this is a Posi and they're Phillips. I don't think I've got anything else that will do it. Could do with a magnet as well. Oh, we've got one there. I don't like magnetising the screwdrivers. I used to do it. If you strike your magnet across the screwdriver, you can magnetise it. But I just drop a magnet onto a piece of metal, and the piece of metal becomes an extension of the magnet, slightly weaker. Unlike in this case though, it doesn't seem to want to. Come on. I think it's just one of those ones where it just won't. No, I'm just going to have to bang it out. Right, so they're the ones off the bottom. Let's put them in the case so we don't lose them. Trouble is I can't see any other screws. It's wanting to come loose. Hold on a second. Are there any screws hiding down here? Right, I bet you that comes out. I bet you if I find a... I bet you behind this handle, cunningly hidden down there, is a set of screws. So, let's get you over here. No idea why you turned off. I don't know when you turned off either, so this might have been all pieces and you don't know why. We're just breaking into it, we're just trying to look at what the components are. We found one of the fuses, it's here, it's a glass fuse. I'm trying to get it out. It's try not to prise on the glass when you do these, especially if you don't know if you've got any more. I've got some, but I don't know if they're the right ones. So, let's do this fuse a quick check. Yep, that one's bothered. trying to get under here. So reading the circuit board, we got, that's not the fuse that was listed, that's a different fuse. Fuse 1 is on CN01, which is down here. It's this one here, we've tested that. The next fuse is on CN02, which is this black lead here, which disappears down underneath the carcass, and I can't quite get to it. So we're now getting balls deep. Right, I think we need to remove the power lead altogether. I think we resisted this long enough. So I'm just undoing it from the terminal block so I can get because that's the only thing that's stopping me from getting this out the circuit board now. Right, so let's disconnect that again, discard that. Right. So that's the dehumidifier bit. That's where it cools the water. So it must burn it off that board, send it in there to get steamed off. Right, so somewhere under here there's another fuse. So we're going to follow the black lines. Black line, black line, black line. Right. Disappears under there. Some kind of a thermal cut thing. Oh, sorry, that's a. Looks like it's some kind of detector for when the draw's in. Yeah, that's it. So it won't go unless the draw's in. Looks fairly scabby. Suppose we could check that. If I could get a probe in there. Yep, they're working. So that switch works. Still can't get to this fuse, so I need to track these black wires down, and I can't seem to be able to. They disappear down here, and then they disappear behind here. So it could be there's some kind of system check going on when we first power it up, and because there's no connection there, that it's not working, but could be wrong. More of these that look the same. Can't open this, just an O-ring seal on this. Aha! We are in. As I suspected, O-rings, right. So there's something under there. I can't remember if we actually tested this. Before we go any further, let's just do the simple thing. Actually what Jacob suggested. Smart ass twat. Yeah, that fuse I think is gone. That might be the problem. So let's find out what sort of fuse it is. Can't get the other one. They can't get to the red one, but the red one was thankfully fine. So it could be there's a little bit of logic, and then we are getting mains, but it won't let you turn it on without this fuse working. Last one. So obviously that's how this bit works. This traps the air that it's sucking out of the air into here, and then as it goes round there's a heater behind there that blows hot air through here that evaporates it off here into here, and then it condenses it in that plastic box that I've just taken off. So somewhere in here there's a fuse. We think. That's definitely the black one. That's some kind of thermal cutout. That's probably a humidity sensor. So we've got something here. Let's have a quick... Oops, we didn't get it all. The trouble is my nips are well mangled now. Right, so that says it is a fuse. So, in theory, it should... Just check it's not some kind of weird diode fuse. Now that fuse is definitely gone, so that is a SE fuse. Doesn't actually say what it does or how it works. It's a 240 volt, 10 amp fuse. So we could put a 10 amp fuse on that, or we could just bridge it, which I don't really want to do. So we might have to go and see if we can find a 10 amp fuse. I'm tempted just to bridge it because it's knackered anyway. So if I cut that there, it'll just give me an indication of whether we actually get power or whether we've got other problems. Fucker. Come on. Kind of hoping it would be able to force it into there. So not having it. Right, so let's stick it up on its pin. We have to find something to jam that in, I think. Can we stand it on the drawer? we go. Now then, how do we get the get that out of there? Or do we have to? Right, let's reassemble some of this. We know that that works because we've tested it at the other end. So I think this one had, that's it. One. So they went in there and joined in there. Another one in there. And I think that was it for these. Oh no, there was two. Must have been another one that had three. Right. So we'll just chuck them out to one side. That needs to be in there, I think, for it to work. Possibly, maybe. So this goes on here. Not really. Leave that out. So now the black wire, whatever it's gone, the black wire should have continuity. So we definitely think this fuse is done. Yep. The fuse has done. So if I shove that in there, that should do that. This power lead. We didn't bring the power lead through. That's it. Power lead through. good. Surprised these aren't soldered or capped. Yeah, something with some crimped ends on. Now the question is, if the fuse is blown, what's blown the fuse? Now I think there's only one way you can park that in there, so... Oh, that's another connection not done in. Right. So the basics are done, we've checked the fuses. We've got that thing out there now, which is probably going to go bang in a horrible way. The only thing we don't know is, am I supposed to have the... What, is there a trip for them not having the... It's quite possible there's a micro switch on that as well. Aha! We have life. So I think it's that 10 amp fuse. We've definitely got beat, we've got life that we didn't have before. So I think it is that fuse. So we've just got to see if we can replace that fuse, whatever it is. So I'm going to do some research and then we'll replace that fuse and then we'll put it all back together and see if it works. There might be something else wrong with it. It's moaning about the tank being full, but I suspect that's because the things up in the air that would normally press that down. So if I plug it in now, there, we've stopped it. So normal. Yep, that's working. Woohoo! 2 for 2, I think. Let's not get too excited. I've still got to remember how to put all this lot back together and replace that fuse. So what I'm going to do, because I've played this game before, we're not going to touch it for a bit. I'm going to let all the capacitors discharge before I go and zap myself, because there's some particularly high voltages in here and some rather large capacitors, and I really don't want to go zzz, not even for YouTube. So I will do a quick bit of research and then we'll reassemble all this lot, and I'll see if I can get myself one of these. Bear with me. So the battery's running flat, but I just thought I'd bring you in while I put the last few screws in, put it back together so I don't lose it. We've just took the thermal cutout fuse back in the other side and put it away properly where it should go. All we've got to do now is try and get this back in here. I've absolutely no idea how we're supposed to do that, because I've no idea how I got it out, to be honest. How did I get it out? Ah, that was it, yes. Weirdly, this doesn't. That's not much help either, because I've got to put this back on. It's rather a silly design, this. Oh, or does it go down? No, I think it goes... Yeah, because they are there. Yeah, they were at the top. Yeah, so this has got to go up and in somehow. Somehow. Not with them cut around there, they won't, or them cut around there, they won't. So let's just try and get that out of the way. Oh, That's why, because I've still got the screen plugged in. I thought it was a lot harder than it should have been. I think that bit's a bit of a shit design. I'm guessing there should be some kind of screw in there, but there isn't one there, and I don't know why. Unless somebody's already beat me to it and got in there. So it's possible somebody has been in here before and unscrewed that, and we are missing 2 screws. So I don't know. Andrew, have you been in there? Which is one of the reasons why I'm putting it back together now, so I know exactly what goes where when I do come to reassemble it. How are we doing? Battery's still dead. So I might have to see if I can find 2 screws for that. Or I just never had them. Can't see that there was a screw in there. Don't really need it, I guess. There was another one to go under there as well. So all this lot needs to go back over there and into that. Another screw we need to find to go in there. Not sure what happened there. Right. So you might have noticed it's partly disassembled again. I'm having some real problems with this camera. It's doing some really weird stuff at the moment. Shutting off randomly for no reason. The door's just popped open on the battery compartment and caused it to cut off. I've just put a battery in, so I possibly can't have closed it properly, but I mean it's hard up against the tripod. Hope this isn't foreboding, because we've actually been getting some decent use out of this camera. It's better than the Insta that just keeps failing after 10 minutes and then having to do a hard reset and then getting a whole load of video that's not compatible with anything because it's corrupt and really fucking annoying. Right, so turning it over. Right, before we go any further, let's see if we can do what we thought we were going to try and do, and that's that goes out to that side, they go out to that side, that goes in there, and because it's always good to use wood screws, I'm going to chuck a little wood screw in there. We've got a smaller gauge screwdriver there. Yeah, they're way too small, them screws. You got anything a bit bigger? A little bit bigger. I've probably got some electrical screws that you would normally use, some self-tapping pan heads or something. More just to pin it in place, stop it going walkabouts. It doesn't fit, might be half the wires around enough inside because they're not tie wrapped together, so not too concerned. I'm just more bothered about order and placement at the moment for this bit. I'm just applying the same logic I'd normally do as if it was a car. Just make sure nothing's trapped there. Wang that over, chuck that lot over, that's got to go up on the front, that's got to go into the panel which goes that way round. Right, I think we're nearly there, so we've just got Right, there should be. We've done that one. Right, it's these. No. Ah. There we go. That makes perfect sense now. Right, so all that lot's sorted, that lot's back together. Just got this to put on now. That doesn't want to stay put in there. It doesn't really matter. We'll find some screws for that somewhere. Right, so we've just got to stick this one in. That was closed. And this was so we've got to persuade that into that hole. I get one of these feelings this wasn't the best idea of taking this out. Do you know what, we'll just do that. Actually, let's, before we go any further, let's that'll be why I can't get it to go in. Or it started, I might have done that. That's it, can feel it's moving on the motor. Let's just tuck that in there. Oh, you little nipper. Right. Just done my fingers on the other side as well. Little bugger. Oh, that's a different view, isn't it? Yeah, the camera's up in the air a bit to try and get some better pictures. So we're carrying on with this now. So hopefully it'll be one continuous film. I don't think this warrants a several parter. So it's back on the Brolin dehumidifier. If you remember, we got it working last time under some sketchiness. Just bridging across the thermal cutout fuse. I've managed to get some. I've not put them on my desk. I've got everything else ready, including something to keep the muck off the front of this, because I did absolutely cover that with muck and scratched it, so I've had to polish it out of it in a few places where it was ragging around on some bits of muck that were on here, because I've been doing bikes beforehand, and to be honest I wasn't expecting to be able to save this, and then lo and behold we managed to save it. So I'll go and find the fuses. Right, I managed to get some fuses, some SE fuse, some thermal cutouts. They are not the same make, but they are exactly the same rating. So the important thing is, which you can't see, zoom you down. Where the flipping heck are you looking? I remember to edit this bit. Yeah, I thought I was aiming at the floor, but I wasn't. Obviously, I've forgotten I got that on there. Right, so you've got close up on hands now. Look at that. So I don't know if you can see that. So BioJack SE fuses. Don't know what that is. Like I said, I'm not. That might be it because that's the type of fuse they are, or that might be the manufacturer. Don't know. Thermal cutoffs. Type SF 96E, which is exactly the same component number on the other ones. Rated open temperature 99, which means they fail and go open circuit at 99 degrees C, which means this has overheated. Rated to 10 amps before they blow under normal current. 250 volts, and we've got 10 in here. £7 for 10, arrived the next day from Amazon. So that was pretty good. Probably couldn't have done as well as that off AliExpress. Probably could have got them cheaper, but I probably could have paid the same for 100. I'll be honest, I don't need 100, and I didn't want to wait 3 months. And I don't have an AliExpress account, or do I? I might have now. So right, let's operate on here again. So wind you back a bit now. There we go. We'll cut out all the faffing about. So I'm wondering whether it had got clogged up, and that's why it cut out. But the filter looks clean. But for all I know, the filter could have been clogged up, and Andrew and Emma have taken the filter out, thinking it was because the filter was clogged up, it had knocked off. Don't know, I'd have to have a word with them, because if that's the case, that's fine. We know what caused it to thermally overheat. If not, then potentially it could go again. So we've just got to be careful with that. You can see a bit of scuffing there where I was ragging it round on the old here. So we've got one of the towels out of the gym area. So we need a cool rubber again. Just to right, chuck that over there and out of the way. Chuck that over there and out of the way. So that's the filter out. Take the drawer out, don't need that. Chuck that over there, out of the way. Back down again. Right, so we got screws there, screws there. So from this point on, we'll probably fast forward, and I'm not going to say anything because you don't need to see this, but if I put an edit in, that'll remind me. again. Right, I was just looking at this, I've just noticed when it's overheated, it has actually managed to melt the water capture, so we're going to have a look at that and just check it's okay. I think it'll be alright, because the whole point of this is it blows the air through it, but it is slightly deformed, so we might have to see if we can sort of persuade that back into its proper shape again. I might even look to see if anybody sells one of these. I don't think we can switch it round. Yeah, it's a double condenser. So it definitely has overheated, so it might be it's only got a limited life left in it anyway, but just for shits and giggles we will carry on fixing it, because if it overheats again it just shuts the fuse off again, so it's fairly low risk. In case you don't know, the thermal cutouts, the thermal fuses, are exactly what I've just said they are. They are thermal fuses, they are not thermal cutouts. They're thermal cutouts are usually bimetallic strips of two dissimilar metals with different expansion rates, and it's like a heat relay. When it reaches a certain temperature, one of the pieces of metal in the little metal sandwich expands more than the other and causes it to bend over and then arc away from the contact to break the continuity. So it's like a condition switch, if you like. But these aren't. These are kind of a one-shot deal. They are a fuse, exactly what they say they are. So when they're dead, they're dead, Jim. I have got plenty, so we can keep fixing them. So the question is it the heater that's overheated, or did you just not have good enough air circulation, and therefore it wasn't blowing enough air past the heater matrix to evaporate the water out of the air, which is essentially what it does. It sucks the air in, it heats it up. Now this I think is a desiccant wheel. I could be wrong. That could be the heater matrix for all I know. But there's a fairly hefty box on the other side of that, which might just be a fan blowing through here, or that's the heater. And this is the bit that strips the moisture out of it. But looking at this, it does look ceramic. So I'm probably thinking that this is the heater. This gets hot, judging by the discoloration on it. But having said that though, it's in the middle as well, so don't know. But the blower covers the whole area there. So, well, anyway, whatever happens, hot air comes through here. If we're not getting the right circulation of air, and in other words, there's a restriction when it sucks it in, which is the back, and you can see there's a lot of muck in here, then it's going to overheat, and this bit here is going to pick it up and fail, which is what it's done. So, hopefully this is working. I can feel the heat, so it definitely is working. So we're on the crappy old soldering iron, because I couldn't be asked to go and get the very hot semi-component one out. Now I think these are just soldered in, so I think I don't think they're crimped in. I think they are soldered in. So if I stick a bit of heat on it, hopefully we can break it out. I might have to put a bit of low melt solder in there, which I do have some. Yeah, there's definitely solder in there. Whether or not it'll wick through, we'll give it a go. Right, just get a little bit of solder on this. Which one shall we do first? I don't think this is low melt solder, actually looking at it, but it is probably lower melt solder. What you tend to find is fresh solder flows better than old solder. especially if it's gone through a few heat cycles, it does tend to increase the melting temperature of it. So if we can't get this out, what we'll do is we'll just solder onto the top of this. Get him on out. You know you want to. Can hear it sizzling on the mat below. No. I think it's crimped and soldered, so it's not going to let go of it. I think they've gone belt and braces. I can see the solder at the other end melting. So we'll go for plan B then, which is I'll just drop some solder on there if I can get it to take. Just tinning it up. Seems to be absorbing the heat rather spectacularly rapidly. Interesting. There we go. Watch that bit fall out now. Nope. Oh, that's warm. Right. So I can't remember how long the other bits were. I don't think they were that long. So I think we just want to cut these down a little bit. Tin it up. Don't want to get it too warm because I don't want the fuse to cut out. This has got melted fingers written all over it. Ooh. Got to be careful because this is quite warm and I don't want to go through all this and find out I've actually triggered the fuse. This is what I could do with about 20 pairs of hands. So do what we normally do, just jam it. And if I hold this with this might dissipate some of the heat. Just take some of that solder off there, we've got a bit much on there now. Nope, oh, it's because it was that end we tinned up. Not the best bit of soldering I've ever done, but this wire seems to really conduct the heat, which is really irritating. Right. Let me just tin this one up. We'll actually tin the wire rather than tin the connector, it might be easier. Right. Right, well, I think that's good enough. Let's move this thing before we have a disaster. I just thought we're going to put it all the way back together and find out it's tripped. Actually, we don't need to do it because we can just do a continuity check on it. All these bad boys again. You'll go in there. Oh, I know that's messing with your head, isn't it? I've got the black on the red and the red on the black. Give it a clue. Job's a good one. In the spirit of we're going to be tidier from now on. Happy now? Do look suspiciously the same as these. Anyway, right, so we can slide this in there now. Hopefully that will fit. Right, that's looking good. Metal plate. New little screws. Bit too small for this screwdriver, a bit too big for the other one. This is probably the better one to use. Yeah, that one went in a lot easier. 20 minutes of watching Mark put something back together. Yeah, so the only thing I'm concerned about is that plastic heat exchanger unit. So it might have a quick look, see if we can get one of them, and then it's up to them. But it has melted. That's the old one that blew up. Right, so we've got that done. All we've got to do now is start putting the whole thing back together again and tie wrap all these wires up that we started pulling to pieces. So somewhere in here, cornered the market on little tie wraps, I think. And they are getting on my nerves. Shame we're not using the white ones though, because I've got rather a lot of those. Right, so you can stay there for the time being. Right, so I do seem to remember there was one on this bit. Neil, no, you don't use them for cutting tie wraps. Well, I do. Right, so that's all tidy. Right, so this can flip over and go back in here now. Because that's not annoying, is it? Could be why it didn't fit properly. It wasn't in the slide. There's actually some sliders for it to sit in, but the wires, there's too many wires. Too many wires. And so it's popped out of that side now already, and that side as well. Too many wires. It's a little bit better. Right. So that's got to sit back there. And these have got to land on. Some holes. Aha, there it is. So we just need to make sure all the wires are out that need to be out, and nothing's jammed in anything that shouldn't be jammed in. Why is that one not sat down? What have we got stuck there? Oh, we've got a wire. That was a bit naughty. Right, that's fine. So now we've just got to, can you see this all right? Move them out of the way. Right, I'll shift you over. Back. Right, so we needed to tie wrap some of this lot up. So that lot was tie wrapped up. I think that is a heater unit, that's why there's another thermal cutout on the back of there. So that is a heater. Yeah, because that's right, because the blower's there, the heater's there, and that disc there is a desiccant disc that catches the stuff. I was right. Right, so I think one of these went through here and fastened it down there, so it couldn't jump off there. That was kind of happy there. I suspect there could be a screw that went through there, but it doesn't. So that's fine, that's not going anywhere. I've got to sort this nest of ferrets out as well now. So that obviously goes over there. They don't fit, so I would say we need, it's a long one, maybe a short one. Definitely need one there. Just stop for a quick short break. Whee! Right, where were we? We were making sure we got all the wires where we needed to have them, weren't we? So another one down here. Oops, no, that's an end. Right, I think we had one here to get this bundle tidied up and out of the way of that bit there. Possibly another one there, but don't need to worry about that. Pretty sure we'll have had one there. Paying attention. Right, I think that's it. Oh no, that needs to go in as well, but I think that was tie wrapped on separate. So we'll just tie wrap those in. I don't think that went over there. I think that definitely yeah, there's definitely a tie wrap there. You can see the pinch mark, the witness marks as they say. Right, so I've got some clippity clippage to do. These really are knackered. Could do with taking them up and giving them a quick run over on the thing and getting the mating services mating again. Oops, missed one. Right, I think that lot's back together. That needs to go in there. Now we're onto the lid. I remember which way round that went. I think it's got to have gone this side, hasn't it? Got to fasten the bottom in first, nearly forgotten about that. So can't remember where these all go now. So that's that one, that's that one. So there's definitely got to be one there. Because the only screws that we had that came in from the side were that one, that one, that one and that one. So any of these other screw holes. Oh shit, I've done it again. Why didn't you tell me? And after I've done such a good job of tie wrapping it all. Forgot to put the water cooler unit on. What's the chance of me getting this out of here now? Well, actually in theory it should be alright. There's no reason for this lot to be a problem, is there? He says in theory. Apart from this bit, but that should. Things you'd have known if we'd only known it when we did it first time round. We wouldn't have had to take half the stuff off that we took off. Right, water thing on here. Actually, let's make it a little bit easier for ourselves instead of wedging it in there, and then we can see how well it fits. Let me just drop this off here. Because what that'll allow me to do if I drop this off, I should be able to see how well this fits now. Actually, that doesn't make a bad seal, to be honest. Right, that's still sealing. The only... hold on a second. That might be a bit of an... Oh no, because it touches that anyway. So it touches that and blows through that, so I don't think that's a massive issue, and that's not really... It's discoloured, but it's not really a thing, but it has definitely overheated. We are still getting a reasonably good seal under there, so that's good. So we can put all these back in now. So by the time you've taken something to pieces 3 or 4 times, you actually work out the right way to do it. Just feel like somebody might have been in here before. Some of these screws are carrying a bit too much plastic in them, if you know what I mean. Don't know whether to put that on first or last, actually. No, I think we'll probably better put it on now. sure that fits. Yep, that fits nice and snug. That was much easier. Right, so there's only 2 screws hold this on. Wait for it to drop. There we go. Right, now we can pop it back in. One thing I forgot to mention with that desiccant wheel, keep your fingers off it, because I think it's one of those things that if you get grease on it, it'll stop it from working, or you might create a hot spot or something. What are we doing down there? Oh, we've eaten that wire again. Definitely appears to be something that it likes to do. Right. Shall we go again? Where did we get to? You're still with us? No, with the Woolwich. So we've got, I think it's just 3 of these. I'm hoping it's just 3, otherwise we've fucked up somewhere. Because the rest of it's pinned down by the Alright, so we've got that one, that one, that one. So that is the 3. How that one's hanging at the moment. Well, that's how it was. Right. The casings. So what were them 2 for? Confused.com. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that go around the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where did those come from? What else have I forgot to put on? I'm confused. I'm very confused. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on there. We fasten that down, it's not that. We put the plate back on, it's not that. So where do they come from? 2 little ones. It's not them 2. That. Hopefully it should be in the right place this time, because we haven't turned it on. Not that I can remember what position it was in when I was there. Just put that down there. I'm very much of the might make Vince approach to this. I'll show you all the stupid mistakes I do when I put it back together. Some of this stuff, when you're taking it to pieces, it's a flipping nightmare trying to remember all the bits, where they were. Right. If you don't mind, I'm just going to spin this around just so I can make sure I'm not eating this control wire, because that would be bad. And that's in the right place, which it isn't, but I don't think it was in the right place when I opened it up, which did make me wonder whether somebody had already been in here. I had to look for some screws, I couldn't find any, sadly. Right, just tuck that in there. Let's just keep your fingers well out of the way, because I seem to remember it bit me last time. Nearly got my fingers in. Tell you what I've not done. We fell for that one last time as well, didn't we? Let's just that way up. Yes. I think that's in, apart from this last top bit. Right, now that's popped out again. Let's just get these done up. So nice positive click of that one as it went home. And same with that one. What time is it? Oh, the swim season's over now. I ain't got ridiculous Friday morning to do anymore. And can't bother. I only did one early. Some people were doing two. I had to do Saturday. 150 swimmers every week. That's it. So I was trying to avoid. No wires has escaped. It does not want to go in. Turn it the other way, so we've got a bit of gravity assistance. I'll just make sure that no wires are stuck in there again. It went together, then it didn't go together. Now it doesn't want to go together at all. That's it. I've got a partial together. Get that screw in there before it changes its mind. Just make sure that that's... I'd normally say at this point, if you have to hit it, that it's not playing. Tempted to take it off again, to be honest. It's definitely something not right. Let me get these out so I can work out what it is. So I thought it might be that's not dropping into place or it'd end up the wrong side. Can't see anything. Unless I've done this up too tight and it's not grabbing it. I think there's a bit of an issue that with these here you've got to push them in to let that post drop into the gap. So so we'll just make sure that's well out of the way. I'll do a musty in a minute and go. I'll bring you back in a minute. Just so I can go and have a good swear at it in private. Let me flip it over the other way and let gravity help me out of it. See what's up, the clips on this side just aren't biting. Right. But this side isn't the problem, it's the other side. Right. Right, they're all in, sort of. This is the easier side. The other side is the one where I've got to get the posts into the screw holes. Ah, we're in. Don't let go! I'm going to put this one in before it changes its mind. See what I mean? They just drop in. If you have to bang it and force it, it's probably not right. But sometimes you just have to bang it and force it. Right, just got one more screw to put in. And we can give it a whiz. Right, just a few more things to put in now. So I've got to work out which way. Because it was that side. Got it first time. Yep. Good, good, good. Da, da, da. So in theory, should work now. That's not worked. If I pull this out, I'm going to take the back off again. In we go again. For the 300th time. Yep, exactly what I said. So we'll stick that back together. Hope for the best. See, I have a theory about turning off the camera. And when you turn off the camera, everything that's normally a problem immediately becomes easy. As soon as you turn the camera on, anything that should be easy immediately becomes a problem. So that's just gone together like a dream. Maybe it was just trying to tell me something. But we turned you off. Back on again. Right, let's turn it on. Right, let's just check the safety precautions. Oh, there isn't a switch on that one. Right, so that's shut down. It's telling me that this is full or it's got an issue. Because if it fills up with water, it does the same thing. It presses that thingy. So now we're back off again, it just kicks off. We're in normal mode. Auto swings turned on, let's turn the ionizer on. I think when it's on ionizer it just seems to blow upwards. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Let me test that theory. So turn the ionizer off. Turn the ionizer on. Oh, I know what it's doing. When you first turn it on, it just basically launches it straight up in the air. You have to turn auto swing on. Don't know, I ain't got the instruction manual for it. But let's have a look, see what it does. So we've got the ionizer on at the moment, so there's no reason to assume that doesn't work. Yeah, it's an auto swing. It's because I've turned it on. If I turn auto swing off, it just stops wherever it is. So you can aim it. It's usually quite useful that it's warm, so it is warming up. Now I suspect this overheated when it was on laundry setting, so it's on quiet now, so that's dropped the fan. If we put it on hot, so what that will have done is that's increased the fan and it's turned up the heater unit so it can process more air. So what I'll do tomorrow is I will turn this on when I'm working in here. And we'll leave it running. I don't want to leave it running unattended because obviously it's had a thermal cutout, and then we'll see where we go with that. It was supposed to be a quick one, this, wasn't it? But it's working, so we'll class that as job's a good one for now, and hopefully you'll see a follow-up tag on to the end of this video after tomorrow's soak test that I do on it. See how it goes. So wish me luck, and then we can ship this one out, and then we'll be 3 for 3, because they also dropped a fairly new, only a couple of years old leisure battery that was dead. It had gone below the charge limit for the charger they'd got, so I did the charge jack method where you put a 12 volt supply across it before you drop it onto the charger and then pull that off. So it tricks it into thinking it's a 12 volt, so it just puts it into 12 volt charge mode. Because it was so low, it thought it was in 6 volt mode and just kept knocking off as soon as it hit 7 volts. And it was below that, it was about 6.5. So it looks like he might have recovered that, and we fixed the coffee machine as well. So sorry for the spoiler if you haven't already watched that one. Go ahead and watch the coffee machine one too. But so far it's looking out with 3 for 3. But the battery we weren't known to, we actually give it a proper load test, but it's holding charge for now. It's just sat to one side now, seeing if it drops down on its own. This appears to be working, hopefully, fingers crossed, but potentially could have a problem because it's been allowed to overheat in the past. With the coffee machine, I'm fairly confident about that. So anyway, right, wish me luck.